Donald Trump is the most insecure man in America, which makes it really easy to get under his skin. And believe me, lots of people do it well, but the person I think who does it best is Barack Obama. There's just something about the way that he can push Donald Trump's buttons that really set him off, really get him going, really make him unravel. And that's always a great thing. You know, some people say, is it really that important that we mock him, that we troll him? And I say yes, because when we do, it gets him unfocused. It gets him to really show the real parts of Donald Trump, the ones that are so off-putting to all Americans. Well, all of the parts of Donald Trump should be off-putting to all Americans. But when he gets enraged, it's even worse. And that's why we saw him react like this after President Obama mocked him at the DNC.
It could have been Barack Hussein Obama, perhaps. We should ask him. Now, he was very nasty last night. I try and be nice to people, you know, but it's a little tough when they get personal. Please, again, remember, please, sir, don't get personal. Talk about policy.
There were plenty of great moments at the DNC, poking fun at Donald Trump, calling him out, but clearly the one that stuck with him most was the accordion hands that President Obama did mocking Donald Trump. And I think, of course, maybe making a suggestion that something of Trump's is a little bit smaller than usual, but we don't need to get into the specifics. We understand what he was trying to say in that moment there that really set Donald Trump off. But unluckily for Donald Trump, and luckily for us, President Obama is out on the campaign trail talking about not only the successes of Kamala Harris, not only talking about the policy that she will be putting forward when she is elected president, but calling out the danger that is Donald Trump and his Project 2025 agenda. And of course, that is setting Donald Trump off, but President Obama did so in an incredible episode of the I've Had It podcast, which is just going mega viral right now because it was so great. And so I want to get into that with this first clip right here.
Had it or hit it, tan suits.
Oh, hit that. Listen, I looked remarkable in that test.
You looked great.
I really did. I obviously, some people weren't ready for it, but any of folks out there who are thinking about a tan suit, especially in the middle of summer, go for it. Live a little.
The thing that I like about that particularly is because I'm kind of petty, and I could tell the Fox News journalist resting heart rate went up about 20 to 25 beats, and I thought that's an added bonus to looking so spectacular.
There was a little envy, clearly. They were thinking, man, I couldn't pull that off.
That's right.
I'm sure that's what they were thinking.
I will always love seizing the opportunity to break out the tan suit. Really, like they said, get the Fox host heart rates up a little bit. So upset with the tan suit. Like, that is the greatest crime a president has ever committed. I've said this before. I miss those days that was a scandal that the right was trying to get upset about. But it wasn't just that President Obama was asked about the tan suit in this interview. He recently sent out a tweet mocking MAGA with it in a great way that I want to check out right here. On the anniversary of the tan suit, President Obama tweeted out how it started, how it's going. 10 years later, and it's still a good look, paying homage to Kamala Harris rocking the tan suit at the DNC and including a link to iwillvote.com. Trolling Trump, trolling MAGA, and getting voters registered all at the same time. Who's doing it better than President Obama? Just absolutely incredible stuff. And so was the way that he called out Donald Trump, ripped him up, and called out his Project 2025 agenda and the danger that it poses in this clip right here.
All right, had it or hit it, Project 2025.
But we've had it with the ideas that are in this. For those who aren't familiar with it, but you guys have been educating them. This is an agenda that's been put together that would soup to nuts take away rights and freedoms that so many of us take for granted, that would dismantle vital programs and services like the Department of Education. It's not the kind of America that, I think we'd want to live in. If you are a patriot and you believe in freedom, well, part of the freedom that we have fought and died for is the freedom to make sure that everybody's treated equally, that women have control over their own bodies, that everybody has the opportunity to get a job and work hard and make something of themselves, and that when they're down on their luck or something happens, we as a community come together to pick them up. And that's not what Project 2025 stands for, and we sure can't have it in the White House.
As we've talked about so many times on this show, and President Obama so perfectly put, Project 2025 isn't about 2025. It's not about the future. It's about pushing us back where we're not going, as Kamala Harris would say. This is an agenda that wants to strip away rights and move us back decades. And that is why it is so incredibly dangerous. Also, because of the fact that those surrounding Donald Trump will be his complete cult loyalists. That is what Donald Trump wants more than anything, and that is why he would be so dangerous, because not only has he completely unraveled, more so than we ever could have expected, but he will be taken advantage of by those in his administration who are using him to attack our democracy and attack our institutions, as is what Trump wants to see. And so we have to continue to call that out. But of course, we can have a little bit of fun doing so. So in the spirit of this interview, I wanted to watch that clip from President Obama at the DNC, because why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we just want a flashback right here?
And as we gather here tonight, the people who will decide this election are asking a very simple question. Who will fight for me? Who's thinking about my future? About my children's future, about our future together? One thing is for certain, Donald Trump is not losing sleep over that question. Here's a 78-year-old billionaire who has not stopped whining about his problems since he rode down his golden escalator 9 years ago. It has been a constant stream of gripes and grievances that's actually been getting worse now that he's afraid of losing to Kamala. There's the childish nicknames, the crazy conspiracy theories, this weird obsession with crowd sizes. It just goes on and on and on.
I will never get tired of seeing that moment. I just love it. And I especially love, again, how it gets Donald Trump off his game, which, like I said, is incredibly important. We want him to unravel. We want him to lose control, whether it's typing away with those tiny fingers on Truth Social or breaking down in an interview or in a, I guess I can't really call them speeches at this point, it's a rambling diatribe. We need those clips. We need to remind the American people of what we do not want to go back to. We also need to remind them of the clear contrast in not only records, policies, and personalities in this race, which is exactly what Michelle Obama did. And I want to flash back to that.
She understands that most of us will never be afforded the grace of failing forward. We will never benefit from the affirmative action of generational wealth. If we bankrupt a business or choke in a crisis, we don't get a second, third, or fourth chance. If things don't go our way, we don't have the luxury of whining or cheating others to get further ahead. No. We don't get to change the rules so we always win. If we see a mountain in front of us, we don't expect there to be an escalator waiting to take us to the top. No. We put our heads down. We get to work. In America, we do something.
What's so great about this race is not only do we have the records of two public officials, Donald Trump as a failed president, Kamala Harris as a successful DA, and a successful attorney general, a successful senator, a successful vice president, but we also have the personal resumes of two people. Kamala Harris, who grew up in a working family, who knows what it means to dedicate her life to public service, and Donald Trump, who grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, who knows nothing more than to dedicate himself to himself. It's all he ever cares about, and it's all he ever will. And so I'm glad that, of course, Michelle Obama and that incredible DNC speech is making that case, but we need to as well. And we're going to every single day on this show. And if you want to support that, as always, you can hit that subscribe button and leave a like on this video. It really goes a long way in supporting the work that we're doing on the show. And if you want to go an extra step further, you can also click that join button and become a member of this community, become a monthly member. I am a college student, and so the support really goes a long way. And until next time, I'll see you soon.